Today you will look at the scripture like we've never looked at it before. This is our scripture. This is our motto. We know the scripture inside and out. I promise you today we're going to look at the scripture like we've never looked at the scripture before, Elder Rankford. Romans 12:2. I want you to read along with me. Ready? Read. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you'll be able to test and approve what God's will is. His good, pleasing, and perfect will. Everyone say it's good, pleasing, and perfect will. Repeat that one more time. Say, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you'll be able to test and prove what God's will is. His good and pleasing and perfect will. I want you to say it real loud, with much conviction as you can. Say, having the mind of Christ. Say again real loud one more time. As you take your seat, say, having the mind of Christ. Please have a quick seat. I really hope you got your listening ears on. This is not, like I said again, an entertainment lesson. I teach ministers. There's 3 types of sermons. Someone say 3 types.
3 types.
There's a sermon, number 1, that preaches where you've been some past problems. And some sermons, or no, I don't say just past problems, past excitement, things you overcome. And then you have sermons that deal with present problems. And then you have sermons that deal with future possibilities. This sermon here will deal with your future possibilities. But the danger of getting taught a sermon dealing with your future possibilities is 2 things. Number 1, you're not in it. And the second danger is you must believe you can do it. If you don't believe you can do it, the whole sermon series is a null. Because you're thinking that I don't qualify for something that I do want, but I don't qualify for it. Someone say, I qualify. No, you said it like you don't really mean it. Someone say, I qualify. So this is something that we got to understand. I want everybody to repeat with me again. Say, having the mind of Christ. Today's subtitle when we get there, it's going to be a long journey to get there, but today's subtitle when we get there, I'll write this down. It's understanding like Christ, or understand like Christ. Understanding like Christ, or understand like Christ. Understand like Christ. I'm going to teach you today there's some things that you don't have because of your mind.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to teach you today there's some things you don't have, not just because of your mind, because sometimes you can change your mind, but the thing you change your mind to don't reflect Christ. Can I talk today? So listen. So I want you to write down the word having. Deal with the word having real quick. The word having. I want Brother Leo, if you can, bring me a bottle of water right quick. Brother Ken is not here today. He had to take us to business, and I forgot to bring the water with me. Everyone write down the word having. Thank you, Brother Leo. The word having is where you get to understand it. Possessing, own, or hold. To possess, own, or hold. If you have something, church, you possess it. Someone say, I possess it.
I possess it.
I own it. I hold it. It's in my hand. It's in my control. I possess it. I own it. It's in my hand. I can control it. Write down the word mind. The word mind is to understanding. To have understanding, know, feel, or think. To have understanding, know, feel, or think. So if you possess the mind of Christ, you hold the mind of Christ, you own the mind of Christ. Listen, when the mind is to understand, know, or think, but Christ is the anointed one. Listen to someone say anointed one. So when one has the mind of Christ, this means they are able to understand, know, feel, and think like the anointed one. So your goal should be, I want to own this. I need to have this. I'm going to give you reason. This opening of this series is going to give you substantive reasoning why you need to do this, because it's no good for me to jump right into the series and don't make you understand why it's so important that you have this. Why it's important that I change this. Why do I change my mind? So listen, so if you're gonna own, or if you're gonna have the mind of Christ, you must understand that when I have the mind of Christ, what I'm doing is I'm thinking like Christ, I'm understanding like Christ, I'm feeling like Christ, and listen, I know what Christ knows.
Yeah.
I understand like Christ, I know what Christ knows, I feel like Christ, and I think like Christ. I think like Christ. Somebody say, I think like Christ.
I think like Christ.
Listen, I need you to understand this. I'm gonna slow down so you can write. So I'm gonna try to transform my teaching style. I kind of go a lot fast sometimes, but I don't want to go too quick. I want you to get it. So go ahead and keep writing. I don't want to stop you. Someone say, I think like Christ.
I think like Christ.
Think like Christ. I think like Christ. Listen, I'm gonna say it again. There are some things that you do not have because your mind is not where it should be. You don't think the way you should think. You don't understand the way you should understand. You don't feel the way you should feel. Someone say, I don't feel right.
I don't feel right.
And the difference, listen, the difference between me and you, or you and somebody who has the mind of Christ, is that they know how to respond. They know how they should think. Listen, I'm going to help you out, and I'm going to teach you in a second. It's not predicated on perfection. It's not predicated on me being perfect. It's not predicated on my place. It's all predicated on my connection. Yes. I see things different than you do. But the reason why I see things different than you do, because I've been through some things that taught me the only way I'm going to get a different response, I've got to change my mind. I have the same mindset. So I want you to get in your head someone say, I must change my mind.
Change my mind.
Listen to this real quick. This is going to kind of qualify some things, as well as going to kind of connect with some people who've been trained by me. The reason why I began to teach this series, or I've been convicted to teach this series, because as I was going through the last few months, I kept saying this verse in my head over and over again. I used to say Philippians 2 and 5. Write the scripture down. Philippians 2 and 5. Philippians 2 and 5. I said this over and over again, Brother Rayford. I would say this to people I was training. Go back. I didn't realize why I was saying it. I was saying to people I was training, listen, for this reason. Everyone say Philippians 2 and 5.
Philippians 2 and 5.
The scripture says, let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus. Someone said, let this. Okay, you didn't get it. Someone said, let this mind be in you. Which is also in Christ Jesus. I didn't say let that mind be in you, which is in Christ Jesus. I said let what?
This.
Let what?
This.
So this means I have what? It's a word called ownership. Somebody say ownership.
Ownership.
So if this is good, y'all. Just follow me. Keep it with me. If I say, Elder Rayford, let this mind be in you, we're talking to the Philippians, and to the Philippians, you need to change your mind. I didn't even get it when I was doing it. But one thing about me, if I keep doing something over and over again, I feel like I'm pregnant. When I feel like I'm pregnant, I feel like I get birth or something, and I kept saying it's over and over. And God told me, this is not an option, it's an obligation. Write that down. So not an option, obligation. Not an option, obligation. And the same reason why Paul is sitting here in Philippians 2 and 5 and telling the Philippians, the church of Philippi, the same thing I'm teaching you. I'm about to teach you a whole series about. I need you, the church of Philippi, to have the same mind I have. You should have the same mind I have, which is also in who? Somebody say the same mind I have. Which is also in who?
Christ Jesus.
Somebody say the same mind I have.
The same mind I have.
Which is also in who?
Christ Jesus.
I ask you a question before I go any forward. Is your mind like Christ? Do you think like Christ? And listen, this is why our church is at a stagnant step. Because we take on the mind of the pastor without knowing if he got the mind of Christ. Or listen to this. We replicate or we memorize what he says, but we don't take ownership of what he does. So what we do, we have God memorized, but we don't have him in our mind. Good God Almighty. We memorize that if I lie, I won't get this, I still won't get that. But we don't realize it's not about what I don't get. We don't do things because of what we don't get, but we should not, listen, we should not do things because of what we will get. When I do this, it separates me from God. So I'm just talking about what I don't get, it's what I'm losing in my mind. And so when we take on the mind of Christ, I'm not thinking forward, I'm thinking backwards. Okay, you're going to get me in a second. I'm going to walk with you one more time. When I stop doing stuff, I'm not thinking forward. Many of us, we don't lie because we don't want to get things forward. We want to make sure we get things forward. We don't steal because we want to get things forward, or we don't want to go to jail forward. But we don't think backwards. Backwards is, I have a place with God, a connection with him, and if I do this, I'm going to lose that. So I think backwards, and listen, when I think backwards and I please God backwards, he blesses me forward. Need y'all to walk with me. Come on, step up, step up, step up. So I said, when I think backwards,
When I think back,
and I bless God backwards,
and I bless God back,
He blessed me forward.
He blessed me
That's why the Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom and the authority and everything else to give it. He said, if we take care of the past, I'll take care of the future.
Yes, sir.
But the only reason we memorize God, because we memorize God, we make sure we take care of our future. Somebody say fear.
fear,
Religion.
religion.
Religion is always where you last saw God. Because the only reason why we keep doing it, because we want to make sure we keep seeing God, so I keep doing it over and over again, keep getting the same results. Someone say leave religion,
Leave religion,
connect relationship.
connect relationship.
And the way you connect relationship is through the mind. Come through the mind.
Mind.
Listen, I gotta give this to you real quick. I gotta walk you through this real quick. Real quick. So the same reason Paul teaches do this is the reason why I'm going to teach the same situation. But someone say, why is it so important
Why is it so important
to have the mind of Christ?
to have a mind of Christ?
Philippians 5, you know, someone read that for me real loud. Anybody?
In your relationship with one another, have the same mindset as Christ Jesus.
Underline the word relationship and mind. Very important. Listen, you will not get this the rest of the series, so you have to go and watch this on re-recording to get this. When I walk into it next week, I'm going to jump right into the high points of the introduction and go right to the sermon. But underline the word relationship and the word mindset. I did not put a definition of the word mindset for a reason. But the word relationship is a connection, association, or involvement. The reason why I need you to have my mind, because there's some relationships you have. Someone says, it's not about me.
It's not about me.
So you're so caught up about you. I want you to understand, if you're going to become a great Christian, if you're going to become a great, and just remember, if you're going to become a great child of God, you got to realize it's not about me. I don't do anything for me no more. I don't do anything for me no more. Listen, I realized that when I got saved, that my life became Christ-like, and everything I do now is serve Christ because I died a long time ago. The only reason I'm living because of Him.
Amen.
Truth be told, I died a long time ago because He died from me. Now I can live. He separated. Listen, he took my place in death so I can take His place in life. If I take your place in life, I'm going to live for you.
Yes,
So right now, it's not about me no more. And God says, everything you do from now on is about every relationship you're going to have.
wow.
If I bless you, it's because of the relationship you have. If I give you a house, it's because of the relationship you have. I give you a car, it's because of the relationship you have. If I give you marriage, it's because it's about your relationships. And you're crying about what the job didn't do, what the job did do, or what the house did. Someone stop crying.
Stop crying.
And start asking, why am I here?
Why am I here?
So he says here, I want you to get this truly understanding. The word relationship is the connection, association, involvement. The word mind, we talked about the word mind earlier. It means to have understanding, know, feel, or think. Understanding, know, feel, or think. So I'm going to read this verse again. He says, so in your connections with people, he says, with one another, I need you to, listen, I need you to, listen to this, to think, understand, feel the way Christ would think, understand, and feel. With your connection, listen, every time you connect with somebody, you need to ask yourself, did I respond like Christ? The old saying was, you remember the old saying, what's the bracelet you say on it?
What would Jesus do?
Go ahead and say it loud.
What would Jesus do?
And we wore them so proud, but yet we didn't do nothing like it. It was a past thought. Oh, I should have did what Jesus did.
Yes.
We would have done. I should have. But it really stood as one of the greatest reminders ever that was presented. If we want to be good Christians, everything we do, we need to start asking ourselves, what would Jesus do? Someone say, what would Jesus do?
What would Jesus do?
I should create a t-shirt and put that on there again. Start it all over again. Someone say, relationships.
Relationship.
So listen, the scripture said again, in your relationships with one another, or in your connections, associations involved with one another, make sure you think like God. Make sure you understand like God. Make sure you feel like God. Make sure you know what God knows. Sixth verse, it says, who being in the nature, listen, this is important, this is very, very important. Who being in the very nature of God, another word, nature, did not consider equality with God as something to be used for his own advantage. Understand the word nature, equality, and advantage. Understand the word nature, equality, and advantage. Your relationships. I need every person in the church who really want to change their life. Your relationships with your mama, your relationships with your children, your relationships with your wife, your husband, your relationship with your job. I need you to start thinking like God does. I need you to start thinking like Him. Listen, and when he thought like God, or when you think like God, this is what's going to happen. See, your nature, write the word nature down. The word nature means to metamorph, or morph, M-O-R-P-H-E, morph. M-O-R-P-H-E is the Greek word. Same understanding in our language, to morph, but morph is external experience. Listen to this, external experience. External appearance. But the difference, when you begin to think like Christ, realize that some places in my life has morphed. Some places in my life has morphed. I don't cuss like I used to cuss, it's morphed. Listen, I don't drive like I used to drive, it's morphed. My marriage is the way I used to do. My marriage has morphed. Listen, my church relationship is the same. It's morphed. If somebody look to you and say, when you morph your life, folks start watching. Listen, you got a new job, it's morphed. Listen, you dress different, you morph. You are starting to look different. And when you begin to look different, you begin to get a different audience. Or should I say, a different expectation from your audience. Your haters expect stuff out of you. They hate you, but they want you to get a winning situation, because if you win, they may think they can win. Somebody say, you morphed.
You morphed.
Listen, stay with me. Equality. The word equality is we get understanding quantity or quality. Listen, some places in my life, listen, I ain't perfect all around. Everybody say, I'm not perfect.
Not perfect.
But there's some places in my life that's getting perfected. And listen, I'm not just like God, but some places in my life, I'm equal to where God wants me to be, and I have the quantity of what God wants me to have. In places in my life, I've morphed to be a better person than I used to be. In places in my life, I've morphed to become a better man. In places in my life, I've morphed to become a better woman. Listen, I'm better. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I
used to be.
So someone say, I'm morphed.
I'm more.
So listen, you have a relationship with folks who are watching you change. Somebody say, think like Christ.
Think like Christ.
You can't cut folks like you used to. Think like Christ. You can't cut folks off like you used to. Think like Christ. You can't get an answer like you used to. So they think like Christ.
Think like Christ.
So listen, there's some more equality. And listen, this is the most important part. Right now, the word advantage. Advantage. The word advantage. Advantage. Now that I've increased your quantity, I've increased your quality, you changed. Your mind changed, and now you think you're better than folks. You gained an advantage. Listen, your marriage better, and your marriage should have got better so you can do something different. I'm going to deal with that in a second. But now your marriage better. You use this opportunity to talk about other folks' marriage. Wow. You got a better job, but you should be blessed and realize that you morphed in your job, and God allowed you to morph in your job because He expected you to do something different with it. I'm going to share that with you in a minute. But you talking about folks because now they ain't got a job, but don't forget that you didn't have a job 2 months ago. Amen. It's all because your connection with folk who was blessed by God, they got you to see you in, and now God got you in a place, now you think you're better than somebody? Somebody say, you're not doing this to gain advantage. Listen, everybody's not going to get this one, because this is not going to be taught next week. I'm going to give you the synopsis version of this, but everybody understand, the reason why you don't have what you should have, because your mind ain't changed. You didn't change different locations with the same mindset. You got a new job with the same old job mindset. You got a new house with the same old house mindset, and God said you're going to be stuck right here. Because your mind can't change. Can I talk today?
Yes, sir.
This is a long series. This is not for the faint of heart. This is for the folks. I need every wife to sit beside your husband who want better. So at least you think different until he think different. I need every husband sit beside your wife who want better. I want you to think different until she think different. I need every couple who want to get different say we're going to get different. I need every single person in this house say I'm going to get it.
I'm going to get it.
Because it's not about just thinking I'm good. I want to become better. But it's going to take some work. Anybody want to put their work through something? Yes. Listen, I was up until 1 o'clock this morning after working all week. And listen, not getting much sleep. 1 o'clock this morning, got back up at 4 this morning because I realized how important it was to come give you a fresh revelated word of God. Hey, I'm not going to take it easy on you. You please don't take it easy on me. Yes. Somebody say, I want better.
I want better.
Somebody say, I want better.
I want better.
I'm going to do different.
I'm going to do different.
So I can get different.
So I can get different.
So are you ready to change your mind?
Yes, sir.
You've been morphed. I need somebody to praise God right there alone. I've been morphed.
Thank God.
I've been morphed. I've been morphed. I've been changed. I'm not what. Listen, I got so caught up in what I didn't have. I don't forgot what God did for me. Amen. I've been morphed. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. Amen. I've been morphed. I see some New Destiny saints who've been there 7 years, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 month, and you've been morphed.
Yeah.
If you go to a church and you ain't morphing, you better go find somewhere else to go.
Yeah.
If you're not changing, challenge the atmosphere or challenge your mind. I'm going to tell you again, if you're not changing, challenge the atmosphere or challenge your mind. Either your changing atmosphere is not there, or your mind is not ready to change. Which one is yours? Someone say time to change.
Time to change.
Someone say again, say time to change.
Time to change.
Listen, so equality advantage. So he says you have relationships, connections, associations. That I need you with these connections and associations to think different than you ever thought before. Think like God, because listen, because you morph and you become equal, or you come to the place that God wants you to be. Listen, somebody say equal.
Equal.
And now you have an advantage, and you're using it as an advantage. He says, who, being in the nature of God, did not consider himself equal. He says, if you think like Christ, Christ says, I don't take my equality and put myself at an advantage over folks. One of my favorite verses is now John 3:16. Everyone like John 3:16. What John 3:16 say? Say it loud and proud. But God so loved the world.
That he gave his only begotten son. Whoever
Believe in him shall
not
what?
perish, but have everlasting life.
So now parents have everlasting life. Everybody know that one, but nobody knows John 3:17. John 3:17 says, for I sent my son into the world not to judge the world, but to save the world. Favorite verse. You done got to the point where you think you have mighty, and now you judging folks. And the only perfect person in the world ain't even judging folks yet. And I love to tell them this, follow up with the statement. If you stay perfect long enough, keep your mouth shut, because you'll get your chance to come back and judge with him. Because it says all those who are called will come back and become judges with him. Wait your time. Right now is not the time. Somebody say, stop judging.
Stop judging.
Change your mind.
Change your mind.
Listen, I gotta get here. Walk with me. Listen. It says the advantage. So Jesus, when you think like Jesus, you don't morph and think your equality make you an advantage over folks. 7 verse says, rather he made himself what? Is there yet 7 verse?
No.
Rather he made himself what?
Nothing.
Made himself what?
Nothing.
He made himself what?
Nothing.
God gave me promotion, I ran back down. God gave me a great family, but I ran back down. God gave me a brand new car, but I ran back down. Because the moment I feel like I deserve it, I might lose it. So the best thing I do when I get it, somebody say I need to lower myself.
Lower myself.
You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. Somebody say lower yourself.
Lower yourself.
And I like the word servant. The word servant means one who gives himself up for another. Brother D, you come right quick, real quick. One who gives himself for another. Every time you get a breakthrough, stand right there real quick at the bottom. Every time you get a breakthrough, you should get worried almost. Because this became your new assignment. Every time you get a breakthrough, I need you to start looking around and finding out who's struggling and what you just got out of. God will not promote you in front of folks if he don't want to help you, get you to use you to bless somebody. Listen, okay, change your mind. You thought it was time to have a praise party. Have your praise party for 5 minutes about one day, and now get your butt up and realize that you got to sober up because you got work to do. God will not. Y'all can make me work today, and I'm going to work because it's time out for the saints to be ain'ts, and the folks who need you, stop waiting on you. God said every time I promote you, it's not for you. I wasn't trying to reward you. God said you get your reward in heaven. It's time. Good God, I feel like preaching, but I'm going to hold back because I got to teach this thing. It is time for you to get to work.
Yes, sir.
You and my wife right now becoming coaches. We're licensed coaches. Why? What does that mean? That means everything we get broke through and we licensed to teach somebody about it. Because God didn't free me up just to walk around and brag about it.
Come on, yes, sir.
Sister Constance and Nikki, y'all get free up from this depression y'all be going through. God is licensing y'all to write a book about it and tell somebody what I came out of, how I came out of it. Why? Because I know God didn't break me through for nothing. Sister Nikki, Sister Constance, as soon as she got broke loose, went to the hospital last week and bumped into a woman who was going through the same thing, laid hands on her and prayed for her. And the woman said, it's not about color, it's about my Christ. You changed my life.
Man.
Are you checking your atmosphere out or you stuck in the mirror too long? I'm going to preach this one. You may not like when you leave, but I will not be the same pastor I was 7 years ago. Because it's time to go to another level. Somebody say, stop looking in the mirror.
Stop looking in the mirror.
If you're going to look in the mirror, look in the rearview mirror. Why the rearview mirror? Because God says people who's behind you need to go back and find out what you left behind. Are you on your assignment? So listen. It says here, he says, rather he made himself nothing. Listen, I made it. Brother Rayford, I finally got that job. I finally got that promotion. I finally got that marriage. I finally got that car. I finally got my credit right. And you get here and you by yourself. All by yourself. Someone said the worst party
The worst part
is when nobody showed up.
when nobody showed up.
The reason why nobody showed up because your party and your praise partners, you left them behind. Your party people and your praise partners. What's a praise partner? Somebody who's been through what you've been through, that know what you know, and can praise the way you're praising. Everybody understand what you've been through. So you may have to go back and get somebody to praise him with you. So he says, I made myself a servant. I got set free. I got myself a business, 2 daycares. And I've been looking for folks who need some advice on daycares. Listen, I've been looking for folks who need a daycare, and at my daycare, I'm going to help promote them. And so I realized where they are. He's a servant, one who gives himself up for another. Listen, I came back down to grab you. And I came back down to take you. Now, if you don't want to go, it's up to you. But I came back down for somebody. And I'm going to wait long enough until I find somebody who want to go back up. Have anybody been set free from something that you know for a fact that I may not have a degree in it, but my life experiences qualify me to change my life? I may not have a degree in it, but listen, life experiences can change. Listen, I can teach you some stuff. Listen, some degrees can't teach you stuff that I've been through. Listen, the degrees can't tell you something because I have life experience. And listen, in my life experience, I feel obligated to tell somebody about it. So I come back, listen, I'm a pastor of a church right now that has done pretty good. How many of y'all know, in fact, we went a long way in a short time? And the elder trader will tell you, I'm trying to find pastors who will take the advice I give them. Trying to give it away. Setting a room with her brother for 4 hours. 4 hours. I asked him, I said, man, you realize we didn't take a bathroom break in 4 hours? 4 hours, I split up for 4 hours. He sat there for 4 hours and wrote down 4 hours of material because I'm full of 4 hours of stuff that I can tell you how to change your ministry. I'm full with 4 hours to tell you how to change your marriage. I'm full of 4 hours to tell you how to change your business. I'm full of 4 hours to tell you how to deal with depression. I'm full. Listen, there's no good when you're full at the top. I come down because I got people I need. Okay, y'all know the I'm gonna keep on teaching. So my job is to push him and get him where he should be. And once he get where he should be, now we both come around and we go down and come here, Brother Rayford. We come down now, we both are assigned because God didn't break him through, he didn't break me through, so we have a praise party. He broke us through, so I can find somebody. Come here, Elder Rayford, come quickly. So now, while I'm working on him, get in front of him. Now work with me, over here. While I'm working on him, he's been qualified now. That's building the kingdom not by addition, but by multiplication. 1 + 1 = 2. But 2 × 2 = 4. When we start multiplying, the more we realize we weren't supposed to all get saved and show up a new destiny and have a praise party. We all get saved and go outside this church, you're going to grab somebody else. If everybody who got set free, go out there and find somebody who get set free, this church will be double the crowd next week. Y'all not ready for that, because all y'all want is get your set free stuff and get free and sit at home and talk about folks. About what they ain't doing, but you forget what you used to do.
Right.
I'm going to teach you if y'all don't want to hear. Go down real quick. I got a lot more to do. Y'all with me so far?
Yes, sir.
So listen, somebody say, mind of Christ.
Mind of Christ.
I feel like I'm preaching 2 sermons today, but I'm going to preach an introduction. Can I finish preaching the introduction? So I say, mind of Christ.
Mind of Christ.
So it says here, rather, he made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant, being made in his human likeness. Servant, one who gives himself up for another. 8th verse, go to 8th verse. You there, D? It says, and being found in the appearance of man, he humbled himself. Who's not like that? Somebody humbled himself.
Humbled
We're not
himself.
going to read the rest because he died, so you ain't got to die. I'm not going to read the rest of that. So they ain't going to tell you got to die. Somebody say he died,
He died,
so I don't have to die.
so I don't have to die.
But he did die,
But he did die,
so I can humble myself.
so I can humble
They were
myself.
humble? No, I didn't put it down. No, go back up. You still in the same place? I don't have the 8th verse. We'll just hang out there. Thank you so much. Humble means to make one low or bring low. Make one low or bring low. When I think like Christ, every time I'm promoted, I go down. Every time I'm promoted, I go down because I'm afraid that while I'm up, I'm going to disqualify myself for what God has blessed me with. Somebody say, I'm afraid.
Right.
I'm afraid. I thank God. Listen, I'm not mad at Elder at all. Somebody say, well, take him out. No, train him and sit right there where you at. That's what's wrong. So many folks, we're taking their children out of church. I can preach over them. You can listen over, I can preach over them. And I applaud Elder for training her children where they should go when they get older. Guess what? They're going to be able to sit down in church.
Amen.
And I need her to take the leadership. I thank her for being the leader she is today. I need y'all to take the same leadership. Your child coming here, sit there and make them pay attention. Amen?
Amen.
I'm talking about old school church. Give me a high five, Spirit of it. I'm proud of this, Lord. Somebody needs to start praising that.
Amen.
Some folks say, I can't wait till they get a youth church. I can't come to church till they get a youth church. I rebuke that.
Amen.
My church didn't have a youth church when I came up.
No.
Y'all was in church.
Right now.
With an Ursula hand upside our head and mama hand in my mouth. Because Ursula slapped me and mama popped me back too. Don't you do that. Don't embarrass me in church. Listen, you got to train them. So listen, we're almost there. Somebody say humble. Somebody say humble. Somebody say humble. Y'all not talking like y'all want to be with me. Somebody say humble. We humble ourselves, bring ourselves low. Listen, but this is the great part. Can I get all y'all come back real quick? All y'all come back real quick. I almost forgot this part. This is the best part. I didn't teach you all this here just because I wanted to waste your time. I went this deep because I just set the precedence of the whole entire series. And the very best part of this whole thing, did you go that 9th verse for me? 9th verse, everybody read 9th verse. No, tell you real life. Y'all gotta say it like I want to be here.
Therefore God exalted him to the highest place and gave him the name that is above every name.
See, that was a shout moment, but I understand you don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm gonna go ahead and shout for you. That's a shout moment. Why is that a shout moment, Elder Rayford? Listen, he says, therefore, when I think like Christ, and I humble myself down, I come down to where, listen, I know for a fact I'm qualified to be up here boasting and bragging. Listen, can I tell y'all a secret real quick? Now, I'm not going to tell you all my business, I'm going to tell you a piece of my business. God got promoted me in about 2 years to pay cash money for the Jones Auditorium. I'm about to school.
Amen.
We're going to turn it into a youth academy, some kind of thing. I listen, I see it. And listen, and I told people I was going to do something yesterday. I told them I was going to do something, I did, but I had to change my mind. I read my notes last night because I can't wait till I can run to the top and say, we bought the Jones Auditorium. See, only four folks are going to get it. But listen, I told her yesterday because it was Easter time. No, we was in the community center 7 years ago. And I went to the superintendent at the time, and you can talk to yourself and figure out who they was. And I talked to the superintendent at the time, I said, look here, I want to start renting the school. And she told me these words. I said, I want to rent the school for $2,500 a month, maybe $30,000 a year. You can put towards the Central County school, Cold Springs school education system. That person looked in my face and said, you can afford my light bill. And I wish 2 years from now, when I own Jones Auditorium, I can say, not just I can afford the light bill, God has blessed me to own. But God said, you better get your butt down because I'll make you look stupid, I'll make you look crazy. How about you come down and teach everybody else how to own the building? I ain't got time to brag. I ain't got time to boast. I ain't got time to look back, give back to nobody. I got work to do. If God let me, listen, do I believe in heaven? Yeah. How I drive, I don't know. But if God give me Jones, I got something to teach somebody. That's $2 million. Yo, I've just been licensed to help a whole lot of folks. What happened? We get to the top, we spend so much time trying to boast and brag, say, look where I'm at, look where I'm at. Look what I've done, look what I've done. You realize God will snatch your butt right back down. In front of the same folks who follow you. Now they got to pray for you. Listen, but I like this. My favorite part of this whole thing. It says, therefore, when God exalted him, when you think like Christ, I got an audience. And I've been promoted around an audience. But I can't use it to say that I'm ahead of folks. I got to come down. But the reason why I have a problem coming down, Saints, the reason why I need you to be here for the next 4 weeks, because if you learn how to come down, God said I'll do something to change your whole family. God said I'll do something to change your whole city. God said I'll do something to change your whole neighborhood. God said I'll do something to change your whole job. The reason why your job haven't changed, the reason why your family haven't changed, the reason why your neighborhood haven't changed, because you haven't came down. You're on Facebook too high. You're on Instagram too high. Come down. Why you need to? Why do I need to come down? So So I said, why didn't he come down? So I said, please tell me why didn't he come down?
Please tell me.
Because what he said, he blew a mind. He says, therefore God, not mama. Not the boss man. No. Matter of fact, G tried to fire me when I went down. And God snatched back up, and the man tried to fire me, lost his job. He said, no, when I promote you. Well, y'all did. He says, listen, but I like about co-pastor. I love this. This is what he says. Therefore, God exalted him to the highest. And that ain't even shout point. I don't have to shout because when I went down, God took my behind way back up to a highest. If it was a job, I'm at the highest. If it was in my marriage, I'm at the highest. If it was house, I'm at the highest what I need to be. But that's not even a shout point. No. What do you say next? Somebody read that for me.
Gave him the name that is above every name.
Hold up, say it again.
And gave him the name that is above every name.
Say it one time.
And gave him the name that is above every name.
See, all y'all trying to get y'all name in highlights. God said have to highlight his name in. He said, listen, one thing I like about the word name. Co-pastor, can you please read what that word name means? Someone say your whole city.
Your whole city.
Your whole neighborhood.
Your whole neighborhood.
Your whole family.
Your whole family.
Your generation behind you. If your brother learn how to bow down, God said, I'll pull your whole family out of the way. If your brother learn how to ride bow down, I'll pull your marriage out of the way. You are too high. Baby, read it, please.
The name is used for everything, which the name covers.
What? Keep reading one more time.
The name is used for everything, which the name covers.
The name covers my house. The name covers my family. The name covers my children. The name covers my co. Keep reading, my name's done. Keep reading.
Everything that is thought or comes to mind when mentioned.
Whenever you mention my name, everything. I was standing in Memorial Hermann Hospital last week, crazy as I am, with Katie Hines, who just got surgery over her eyes. And the doctor told her that you can't see for 6 months. But the cause of who you can't see for 6 months. Left and called me that same week and said, Bishop, my eyes can see. Stood in the same hospital. And the CEO of the hospital came down and said, Clyde, what you doing here? I said, I stopped by with my member. Told my member she ain't got nothing to worry about. Why? Because of my name. I ain't done yet. Some of y'all gonna think it's bragging and boasting, but I ain't bragging and boasting on me. I'm bragging and boasting on my name. Crazy. Someone say he crazy. Someone say he crazy.
Crazy.
Someone say he crazy.
He crazy.
The CEO asked me, how'd you come out in the storm? I said, I came out good. No problems at all. Church good, house good, family good. And she began to say, it sure is funny. And my neighbor got flooded across the street. My neighbor next door got flooded. And for some reason, my house didn't get flooded. I said, baby, it's not your fault. It's because you know me. And some of y'all think I'm boasting, but I'm crazy enough to believe the anointing on my life, the blessing on my life is so strong. I have talked to hundreds of people and hardly didn't touch them. And I'm going to say it's because of who I'm connected to, who you connected to.
So true.
If you learn how to come down, if you learn how to come down, if you learn how to come down, God said, I'll lift your name up and everything your name touch.
Man.
Can I tell you, you got some haters that know your name? And you so busy trying to tell them they blessed because of you. No, they ain't blessed because of you. They're blessed because of who you connected to.
Right.
It just happened because of me. I praise God for my enemies who didn't get flooded.
Man.
They don't get it. But by the end of the series, you get it. So when I came down, even if y'all was struggling, it's because y'all knew me. Come on up here with me. Because we all come down, everybody we connected to has now been set free. So it's like, I love your name, oh no man, oh no man. Everything that your name covers. Can I reverse this? Because you won't come down, everything your name covers is cursed.
Yeah.
Because you won't come down, your child is cursed. Because you won't come down, your marriage is cursed. Because you won't come down, your ministry is cursed. Because you won't come down, your job is cursed. Can your butt come down? Why me? Why me? Because God chose you and put you up. Why me? Why me? Because God gave you a new house. Why me? Why me? Because God gave you a new marriage. Why me? Why me? Because God gave you a new job. And the world is watching you. I'm picked out to be picked on. No, you weren't saying that last week. You was picked out to be blessed.
So true.
But the problem, you went from your breakdown to your breakthrough with the same broke mind. But if you ever got to the top and said, let this mind be in me, which is also in Christ Jesus. When Jesus came down, I came down. Jesus went to hell when he came off the cross. And you can't even go down the street when you come off the cross. Jesus came off the cross and went straight to hell and preached the gospel. And God give you a new house, you go straight to the club and have a praise party. Somebody change your mind.
Change your mind.
Go ahead and sit down. I got to get to my sermon today. Real quick sermon. But do anybody realize, if I'm going to get anything, I got to change my mind. I got to. So Elder, I was telling you, sweetheart, I'm not trying to get you to be like me, baby, but I'm trying to do is tell you, let the same mind be in me, which is also in Christ Jesus. I didn't always think this way. So I'm trying to tell you how I think so you can get how I get. I'm coming down for you. When I talked to you about 4 hours, I'm coming down for him. He said, oh me, no. You don't owe me nothing. I came down for you. Come down. So I said, come down.
Come down.
So listen, all this is predicated on one thing. Us having the mind of Christ. Am I boring y'all?
No, sir.
Anybody feel like they're going to be better when they leave today?
Yes, sir.
Somebody say, it's all predicated
It's all predicated
on me
on me
having
having
the mind
the mind
of Christ.
of Christ.
And we talk about having the mind of Christ. Number one, I must understand like Christ understands. I must feel like Christ feels. I must know what Christ knows. And lastly, I must understand, feel, know, and it's another one. I can't get it. Somebody tell me what the last one was. So they think. I must think like Christ thinks. 4 weeks. Don't miss it. 4 weeks. You need to do everything you can to be here. I've never said this about a series in my life. 4 weeks. Make sure you're here. Because for the next 4 weeks, you're going to learn how to change not just your life, to change everybody connected to you. Because I'm going to teach you how to understand like Christ understands. Can I change that mind today? Can I really change that mind today? Go to Romans 12 and 2. Did go there for me? Musicians, pay attention today. I need everybody. Nobody just called for themselves today. And I'm not saying it because they're not paying attention. I can't see nobody. But I felt them over here, and I want them to be blessed like I'm blessed. Listen, I want everybody to be blessed like I'm blessed. Because listen, it's not over yet. Which one's not over? I got some more stuff I got to get. It ain't over. I told them last night. New destiny is what God called me to, but that wasn't the it for me. That wasn't it for me. I got so much more. Listen, I'm going to still make sure New Destiny taken care of, but don't think New Destiny is a stop-off point for me. I'm not bragging and boasting about New Destiny. God said you got more folks to help. If I got more folks to help, you got more folks to help. We say we changing our minds so we can change what?
The world.
Change what?
The world.
Start by your street first. You can't even change your neighbor. How you going to change your neighbor? How you going to change the world? You can't change your neighbor. How you going to change the world? You can't change the person sitting next to you. Look to the person sitting next to you right now. Look to your left and to your right. That's your responsibility.
Yes, sir.
Your praise is they praise. Your shout is they shout. Your cry is they cry.
Amen.
Start in your room. Let me go back home. Start in your bedroom. Let me go back home. Start in your baby bedroom. Let me go back home. Start on your television at home. Start on your computer at home. You need to make some changes everywhere you go. And I'm not going to wait till I get through Destiny. I'm going to change my car radio station in my car. I'm going to change my YouTube channel. I'm going to do different to get different.
Amen.
If I never told you it's time to change, I'm telling you today. It's time to change. So then let this mind. So then let this mind.
Let this mind.
Let this mind.
Let this mind.
Be in you.
Be in you.
Which is also
Is also
Christ Jesus.
in Christ Jesus.
It's time to change our mind.
Man.
So I said it's time to change our mind.
Time to change our minds.
So the first thing to change your mind, Pastor, baby, You know, I about to say see your whole voice, but I'm the line this time. Blew my mind. Baby, I read the scripture 1,800 times. And never saw it like I saw it today. Or something last night. Somebody, understand.
Understand.
Go back and put me last night about 12 o'clock and she clocked out on me. and listen, I told baby at 12 o'clock, I'm not even in my scripture yet. I'm still in the introduction. I said, maybe I'll just preach the introduction when we go home and come back and get the scripture next week. I said, devil, this is a lot. We're going to preach this thing. Preach this thing. And somebody, preacher, you preach too long. Let me tell you how long T.D. Jakes preached. 2.5 hours. And nobody leaving. I saw somebody leave one day. He told me, he said, where you going? He said, I got to eat like you got to eat. My children tired like your children tired. If you're not going to know, you sit your behind down because I ain't through yet. And so I'm telling you right now, as the Lord is spiritual and person in this building, yes, I know like I know, you'll sit your butt down and listen to everything God got to say. Because your life is more important on what you get today than if you make it tomorrow. If you're so quick to get out of here and you're going to fight till tomorrow, how about you learn to fight it today?
Amen.
I feel like preaching today.
Preach, Bishop. Yes.
Somebody say, understand.
Understand.
I need someone to really believe it. Somebody say, understand.
Understand.
Like Christ.
Like Christ.
One more time, I'll say it again. Say, understand.
Understand.
Like Christ.
Like Christ.
So listen, write the word understand down. I gotta get behind my notes on this. There's a lot of stuff I gotta give you. Every person, this is note-taking time. Understand. Understand, write this down, very important, is to interpret or view something in a particular way. To understand means to interpret or view something in a particular way. Look at the definition I wanted. Someone say to assign.
To assign.
Meaning to.
Meaning to.
So if you understand something, that means you interpret something or to assign meaning to something. Someone say you interpret something or assign meaning to something.
Assign meaning.
This is very important. I would not say it if it wasn't important. So listen, this towel. Let's say we don't know what it is. If I don't know what it is, that means it's left up for me to interpret this or assign meaning to this. But fortunately, we all lose the towel. So fortunately, we all cool. But this was something that we didn't know what it was. If I had to assign meaning to it or to interpret it, listen, it's because the definition was not easily understood. Follow me. If I have to interpret it or to assign meaning to it, that means the definition was not easily understood, left up for interpretation. Follow me. Someone say left up.
Left up.
For interpretation.
Interpretation.
If it's not easily defined, that means guess what? It can be defined as anything. Listen to me. Walk with me. Listen. So now I'm going to read this real quick. So what we must understand today is that something that we need to be understood is not easily defined. Write this down. The boiling point or freezing point is something that is easily defined. Everybody knows. Due to your location, it may change, but if your location, everybody understands this location, that in this location, the boiling point and the freezing point is the same. Due to elevation changing and elevation lowering, it may change, but everyone in the elevation understands the boiling point and the freezing point is the same. It's the same. It's easy to define because it has a point of reference. If you want to make it different, you can't make water boil at a different point. So you can say what you want to say, but you can't change it. Somebody say, you can't change it.
Can't change it.
Listen. Height or distance. Can I teach today? Height or distance is an understood definition. Okay, I want to lie about it and tell folks I'm 6 foot. I'm only 5'11". I've been lying to y'all all this time. I want to be 6 foot, but I only stopped at 5'11". But listen, just because I said I'm 5'11", don't make me 5'11". The reference point when they put the tape measure on me, if they take my shoes off, they're going to find I'm 5'11". So it's easily defined. Follow me. I wouldn't waste your time. You wouldn't waste your time. Somebody says easily defined.
Easily defined.
Distance. Okay, how you lying? Say it's 5 minutes from here to there. You lying. If it's not 5 minutes. Because distance is easily,
Defined.
distance is easily,
Defined.
I'm saying again, distance is easily,
Defined.
okay, we there? So it's not up for interpretation, right? You cannot assign meaning to it because it already has a meaning. But what happens when something don't have a reference point? What happens when something don't have a measuring opportunity, like something like right from wrong? Got to talk. So right from wrong does not have a defining point. You don't. So your interpretation of right and wrong and my interpretation of right and wrong is not the same all the time. And the elder loved me, I love elder, and I'm not big on elder day, but she know for a fact that I want to whoop SJ sometimes. And listen, she don't want me to whoop her sometimes, even if she do, because guess what? Our distance and thought process behind right and wrong is the same. That's why you can't be whooping people, kids in church like you used to. They were fighting in the parking lots. Your child told me off. No, he did. He spoke his mind. You see on that side of church? I'm on this side. It'll be cool. Because where I come from, I'm not. Oh, you in there. Listen, right and wrong is up for interpretation.
Right.
Can I give you another one? I'm going somewhere. You better follow me. Cold and hot is up for
Interpretation.
interpretation. So what you think is cold, folks come to church every Sunday and say it's cold, I'm hot. And I'm hot, you cold. And we'll fight at a church because I'm hot and you cold. I told my wife, people can warm up a whole lot better than not to cool off. Buy a blanket. Went to a church, they said they have blankets in the back. I say we might have to invest.
Yeah.
But the ending is, it's up for
Interpretation.
height isn't. Distance isn't. Boiling point isn't. Freezing point isn't. But you know the problem? Good God, this is good. You know the problem? Am I talking too loud? I'm sorry.
No.
You know the problem? With things being up for interpretation? When things up for interpretation, people usually use their religious background or environmental conditions to create a definition or assign meaning to it.
Wow.
Write it down. Write it down. When things are up for interpretation, this is why I've been trying it. When things are up for interpretation or it needs meaning to be assigned to it, we usually use our religious background or our environmental conditions to assign meaning or definition to it. To assign meaning and definition to it. And listen, keep writing. Go ahead and write it. I'm gonna say it again. College man, what's your degree in? Education. So you're going to teach folks one day. The reason why we all can't agree, because our religious background is different. The reason why we all can't agree, because our environmental conditions are different. You poor, I'm rich. You rich, I'm poor. It's different. So don't tell me what I should and what I shouldn't do, because our upbringing. So that's why we don't talk about politics in the church. We're going to talk about church and the job, because our religious backgrounds and our conditions are going to offend somebody.
Yes.
I was talking to a man the other day at Martin Chevrolet. And I went and talked to him. I told him, Didra, while we were talking, he started bringing up Obama and started bringing up, what's his name? The new guy? Trump. And if he had signed the check, I would have talked, but he ain't signed the check yet, so I kept my mouth shut.
Right? Yep.
Because my environmental conditions and my religious background may offend you, and I don't want to offend you until you sign that check. When you sign that check, I mean,
Yes.
some of y'all ignorant, y'all running your mouth too much, but I know that.
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
Something, and listen, I could agree with him, but I don't want to agree because he could have set me up, and listen, can I tell you, listen, we set this off for 20 minutes. I wonder why I ain't got the check yet. He may have been testing me out.
Right.
And I said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sign right.
Right there. Yes. Right there.
Because our background is different.
Yes.
It ain't white, it ain't black. It ain't young, it ain't old. It's where I come from, you come from. And the problem, we can meet in the middle, we can talk, but we can't meet in the middle. You can't force me, I can't force you. So what I did tell him this. I see the problem is today, we've shifted from a free country to a country that has the ability to force some on folks. We used to be a country where you gay, you be gay. You go to church, you go to church. I'm not forcing you, you're not forcing me. I'm going to serve my God, you're going to serve your devil. And in the end, you have to choose. If my God look better than your devil. And if my God look better than your devil, it's going to convert you. But I'm not going to walk in your place of business and tell you that you got to change. I say, if you want to change, the offer is yours. Can I tell about 50 folks I'm trying to force folks on folks?
Yes, sir.
I'm not trying to force Christ on folks. If you live it, I'm going to teach you. Just stay here with you. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you. So it says, up for interpretation.
Up for interpretation.
So this happens, listen. And religious folks hate this, on the record. Religious folks. I'm going to stand flat-footed and tell you I used to be very religious. I was raised Baptist, and most Baptist people, I can say because I was Baptist, religious.
Yeah.
Religious. Someone say religious.
Religious.
Listen to me. I'm not going to go. If you're religious and you Baptist, you offended, just keep listening. Listen. So the problem is most religious folks hate this option because most religious folks think that, listen, that everybody should not be allowed. Listen, they don't have a problem with, listen to this, they don't have a problem with you defining or assigning meaning to due to environmental conditions. Follow me. I'm going to make you smarter. Just walk with me. Someone say, don't have a problem.
No problem.
With people
using
their environmental conditions to define or assign meaning to. Because most religious folks think that some situations calls for some action. You cut me off, I'm going to cuss you out and pray about it later. I'm talking religious folks. I can set my religion down, cuss you out because my environment changed. There's a lot of religious folks looted. There's a lot of religious folks looted because the environment changed all for themselves. I'm going to take a TV that ain't mine. Religious folks, because my environment, y'all going to hear me today if you want to tonight. If your environment causes you to act different, you might be religious. If your environment causes you to cuss somebody out, you may be religious. If your environment causes you to lie on your taxes, you may be religious. If your environment causes you to lie on your tax return and your car purchase, you may be
religious.
Help us.
So religious folks will stomp the Bible and beat the Bible and tell you that God be this way until the environment changes. So they don't have a problem with defining the situation by if it's cold. And listen, I don't mind changing because it's cold or it's hot. I don't mind changing because it's hot because my conditions cause me to do certain things that I didn't want to do, but I did because my environment changed. You ain't understanding like God. God don't understand that way. Can I preach today?
Yes, sir.
I'm almost done. No, I ain't halfway. But they have a problem when you use other folks' religion to define the situation. Only my religion is right. Your religion wrong. My religion right. Your religion wrong. But can I teach y'all something new today? Can I teach y'all? I believe they go hand in hand. Your religious actions go hand in hand to your environmental conditions. And your environmental conditions go hand in hand with your religious actions. I believe that when my religious actions change, my environment changes. And I believe when my environment changes, it should cause me to change my religious actions. Can I talk? Anybody with me? Anybody understand what I'm talking about? I ain't got my glasses on. So I believe that if I'm broke, I've been going to church, I've been serving God, but I'm broke, my environment changed. God, I need you to talk to me. Because my environment is not conducive to me living in the conditions I need to live in. And something is going on. God may whisper in your ear and say, son, you need to sow a little bit. So now my religious action went from tithing and offering, not to sowing. And listen, everybody ain't got to sow because everybody's condition ain't my condition. And where I'm going, everybody ain't going. So everybody tithing and everybody offering and everybody is blessed, but my house ain't the same. Because everybody religious, but I got a relationship. And my relationship tells me that my religion has just become my thermometer to my atmosphere. And my religion just became my thermometer to my atmosphere. People will no longer be the barometer to my attitude. Can I talk real quick? Show us the thermometer. Thermometer means that which changes the temperature. Barometer is that which creates an expectation or an atmosphere. Talk to me for 1 second. So I believe by me changing what I do religiously, not in religion, but religiously, I can change the temperature back to what God wanted to be. And I will never let people be my barometer. Barometer, that which creates a weather condition. I'm not going to let you also allows an altitude. I'm no longer going to let people tell me what I got to do to change the weather in my condition, or tell me how high or how low I can go. Because y'all been living on religion, and let religion be your own dialing tool. But I'm going to let my actions change because I'm tired of the same outcome. Because we're doing the same thing, but your house is different. We're doing the same thing, my job is different. We do the same thing, but my ministry is different. So my ministry is different, your house is different, your car is different, your house is everything. So I got to do something different. And it came because of you. It got because my daddy told me something different. Can I tell y'all this is why Paul wrote 12:2? Because he innocent. Can I tell y'all, it's not you've been taught wrong, but you ain't been taught at all. And not that I knew wrong, I didn't know it all. But now that I know different, I'm going what?
Do different.
Oh, hallelujah, God. Y'all here with me. Somebody say, Romans 12:2.
Romans 12:2.
Listen. Do you understand what I'm talking about so far? Someone says, my religious actions.
My religious actions.
No, not that I do religiously. Because religious means I'm not going to change. I'm going to go to church and go home and drink my beer. I'm not going to change. I'm going to go to church and go home and slap my wife. I'm not going to change. So I believe actions get me in heaven. But someone say actions ain't about heaven.
Ain't about heaven.
It's about atmosphere.
It's about atmosphere.
Your actions changes your atmosphere. You can be saved, sanctified, through the Holy Ghost. But if you ain't got the right actions, you won't have the right atmosphere.
Right.
And everybody's actions create different atmospheres. So don't judge my actions by my atmosphere. I mean, don't judge my actions by your atmosphere. Judge my actions by my atmosphere. Y'all with me so far?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, let me give you a little something more. So I gave you the thing about giving. So maybe the reason why your marriage is not right is because, not because you don't go to church, not because you don't read your Bible, but because you don't listen to your husband. The preacher can't teach you something he ain't been through. And God been whispering in your ear saying you talk too much. But I go to church and I run the house spiritually and he is not a church member and I know the Lord. But again, you don't know your husband. And the reason why you don't go to church is because you can't listen. Can't talk. So everybody actually ain't the same. You create your own bad atmosphere in your house because you're actually, you go to church and act a fool like you want to, act like you're all holy now, and go home and have a jacked up house. The Bible says a wise woman builds her house and a foolish woman what? Ain't got nothing to do with religion. You got to do with your actions. Somebody say actions.
Actions.
So listen. So Romans 12:2 reads this here. Paul says, can I preach a message against religion? Paul says, can I destroy the Jewish mindset? Can I destroy all those theologians who are thinking, can I get rid of that crap right now? Philippians, Romans church, can I kill what you knew when you was coming up in life? 12:2. Somebody read 12:2 from right quick. Point 1.
Do not conform to the pattern of this world.
The patterns.
But be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Stop. I'm going to do the first one. Do the first one. Everybody write this down. We're going. Write down the first one. Somebody say, if I'm going to change and understand the way God understands, I got to first stop conforming to the patterns of the world. Elder Rayford, Elder Trailer, co-pastor, we've always taught this one way. Evangelist Dickerson, we always taught this world versus church. We always taught that way, right? Stop being worldly and start being churchy. Stop being, can I tell you that's not what that means? I was a victim too. That's not what that means. Some of the patterns are in church. Most of the patterns are in church. So it's not just about church versus the world. He says, do not conform to the world. Write the word conform down. Man, I gotta go. It's 12 o'clock. Anybody still listening to me?
Yes, sir.
The word conform means oneself, listen, to conform oneself to another's patterns. To conform oneself to other patterns. God says, if you're going to understand like Christ understood just because all the people before him did it who knew God, don't mean he got to do it. Jesus realized just because the disciples of John was fasting, don't mean the disciples of Jesus got to fast. Because the disciples of John are fasting on religion, but the disciples of Jesus only how to fast on relationship. Don't have the time to preach that. But Jesus understood that I can't be like everybody because I have a direct connection to my daddy. And my daddy tells me what to do, not you. So he says, stop conforming, stop watching the patterns of people, stop memorizing God. Can I preach? I'm not just telling you to stop memorizing God and the people who know you. Can I tell you to stop memorizing God in your own life? Because what God did for you last year, well, you got what you got last year, you got to do something different this year. Right. The same God today, yeah, he's the same, but more. But God said, I expect more because I gave you more. Amen. So stop memorizing me and thinking with the same. I got home when I first got saved. I used to put on this music by Wayne the Bomb, and man, that spiritual shit that happened in my house. I walk in that place, and the whole atmosphere changed. The Bible opened to one scripture, words on one song, sitting there the whole time. Listen, and the house peaceful. A year later, my maturity changed, and that scripture didn't do it for me no more. That song didn't do it for me no more. I had to get on my knees and begin to pray. I had to get on my knees and begin to fast. And when I did that, and I did that for a while, I then have to do more. God did not change, but his expectations did.
Amen.
You know better, now it's time for you to
do better.
You know better, now it's time for you to
do better.
You know better, now it's time for you to
do better.
Everybody ain't been through what you've been through, so stop trying to assign your assignment to folks who ain't made it where you at yet. Do what you gotta do and then let them do them.
Yeah. Wow.
Somebody say conform.
Conform.
Stop conforming. Go back to that one verse, D. Somebody say stop conforming.
Stop conforming.
To the world.
To the world.
Go back to that one slide. The world, I like the world. This doesn't mean sinners. It's easy to put it in there. Just, well, we gotta stop being topical teachers. Topical teachers, we teach what's on the top. Somebody gotta be go below the surface and be exegeting teachers who exert, take from the text what's in the deep parts of it. Guess what world means? You ain't gonna believe it. You ain't gonna believe it. Let me teach you this real quick. Somebody say world.
World.
It means forever, unbroken age, eternity. Forever, ongoing, time, eternity, forever. He said, stop conforming or doing the stuff folks been doing forever. Stop doing what mama been doing. Stop doing what grandma been doing. Stop doing what folks been doing forever. Because if you keep doing what people doing forever, you don't get what they forever got. Amen. If you want different, you gotta do different. I'm sorry. And the only you're gonna do different, you got to talk to me. Shift from religion to relationship. Amen. Let this mind be in you was also Christ. You know how Christ got that mind? Because he listened to God. So let's stop conforming to the world. Second point, go deep, go deep. I'm in trouble. I'm over 12. But be what?
Transform.
Be what?
Transform.
Be who?
Transform.
They want transform. Now listen. I gotta get this to you. So co-pastor, I was doing what I'm supposed to do. I was being very religious. I don't care who you are. It's easy to become religious. It's easy. Because religion is when you last saw God. And God bless me. Like me and my marriage. For 4 years, our anniversary, I kept taking our house. Because the last time I seen a smile on our anniversary. So I'm expecting that same smile every year. Year 3, she didn't give me that smile. I went back year 4. I asked her, baby, you're not giving me the same smile. God, you didn't give me the same car. God, you didn't give me the same house. God, you didn't give me the same breakthrough. I've been doing the same thing. And she said, listen, I stopped liking our house 2 years ago. Can I tell you, God, I'm moving on you?
Yep.
That's the last time you saw him. I mean, that's where he's still at. Can I tell you something? God don't wait for you to celebrate him. When God breaks you loose, he probably move over to your next breakthrough. You've been stuck praising him and doing the same thing. And God said, I've been expecting more of you for the last 2 years. Can you please do different? He said, stop conforming and start transforming. Start transforming. Start transforming. The problem is you still where you are because you haven't transformed. You've been doing the same stuff since you've been in the shopping center. You've been doing the same stuff since you've been in the community center. You've been doing the same stuff since you got over here. And you transform.
Yes.
You're doing the same stuff since you got married the first time. And now you've been married 4 times. So they transformed.
Transform.
Oh, y'all making me preach. We're transformed, by definition, we're going to go. Metamorpho means to change to another form. Listen, I'm then renewing. Somebody renewing.
Renewing.
That means to renovate, to take out of your head. What I did right here. Go ahead and start praying and ask for them. Pick up and go.
Oh, Lord.
So they renovate.
Renovate.
What you got in your head right here. If I'm going to get what I need over here, I can't go here with the same mind. Okay, God, I see that you move, God, so I'm going to come over here and still do the same thing. No. God says, stop following the pattern of people. Your blessings are, I can't keep using this word, but I'm using it one time, is predicated on people. I've been following you, God. I've been praying to you, God. I've been doing this. Mama been doing it. That's my mama still where she at.
Yeah.
I've been doing what Grandmama told me. God says, you can't follow Grandmama God. My wife told me, God don't have grandchildren. You can't follow Mama God and say, well, I'm going to be God's grandchild. No, you got to get your own God. That's why you can't say the prayer no more. God, the Father of Isaac, Jacob, and Israel. God, the Father of Isaac, Jacob, and Israel, come down and, no! My God, my God! Daddy, Abba, Father, which art in heaven, Abba. I've been doing this, Abba, I've been doing this. Why haven't it changed? God says, I'm not there no more. Your marriage should be higher now. Your career should be higher now. Your business should be higher now. You've been broke down in the praise too long. God said, I'm not there no more. It's time to change your location, but when you change your location, change your mind. How do you change your mind? God, I knew what I was doing over here. God, I don't know nothing over here. I don't know how to do this, God. I want to teach you. Stop depending on me. Stop depending on T.D. Jakes. Stop depending on Anita Bonham. Stop depending on co-pastor. I'm going to teach you how to walk out of your old into your new. And how to keep your new. How? I'm over here. I'm not going to ask Mama how to do this one. I'm not going to ask Pastor how to do this one. God!
Amen.
Father! I was crazy enough to move where I didn't think I could have. And now that I'm here, God, tell me, what do I do to sustain it? Maintain it? What do I do, God? He said, renovate your mind. Everything you knew, forget it. Don't praise me like Mama praised me. Don't praise me like Daddy praised me. This new location takes a different praise. It ain't about raising your hands where you are now. It's not about crying in your closet where you're at now. It's about serving somebody else. I beseech you, therefore, brothers, out of the mercy of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto Him, which is a reasonable act of worship. Where you at now, you got to make sure your body right. Where you at now, you got to make sure your life right. Where you at now, you got to make sure your heart right. Where you at now, you got to serve folk. Where you at now, you got to bless folk. Where you at now, God said you're on assignment. You're on assignment. Renovate your mind. Renovate your mind. Listen, I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm done. What's the last verse say? Somebody read me the last verse. Oh, God. Yeah, God. Hallelujah, Jesus. Somebody read from real quick. I'm feeling this. Thanks, y'all. Oh, go ahead, Go ahead, Evangelist. Let me read it.
Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is.
Hold up. He said, do you better call Mom? Somebody get on the mic. Get on the mic. Brother Leo, get on the mic. He says, when you change the location, and when you change your mind, then you'll be able to ask Mom what God wants you to do. Elder, give me your mic. Someone with the mic. Real quick for me. Help me out. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Don't worry about it. Just say it real loud. Say it real loud.
Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is.
See, stop reading the first part and don't understand the second part. When he says renovate your mind, he says, listen, it's not about stopping going to the worldly stuff. He's saying, what you did over here and you didn't get a response, change that, go over here, change your mind. Ask God what he wants you to do now. He said, once you find out what God wants you to do, not what mom wants you to do, not what the pastor wants you to do, not what your husband wants you to do, not what your wife wants you to do, once you find out what God wants you to do, then you'll be able to do what, evangelist?
Then you will be able to test and approve.
God, right now I'm testing. The household getting paid. The car note getting paid. Business increasing. The favor increasing. Then you're going to test and approve. I must be doing what God said do. I changed my religious action, therefore increase my outcome, redefine my situation, added a new meaning to it, because I did different, got different, now I know I'm pleasing God. If I change my location, I'll be able to test and approve what God's good and perfect will is for my life, not your life. Saints, our problem is we too religious. We mimicking God. We're memorizing God. But we're not in a relationship with God. The way Jesus understood, everywhere I go, I got to change my mind. Everybody stand on the book. Prep on this coming.